Hi everyone, this is NewToCryptocurrency and I am back with another video. So today I'm going to go ahead and do something that's a little different than what I normally do, but it's kind of related. The last video that I made was a review of the Lucky Games site, which is a cryptocurrency casino for those who haven't seen that video. And so I did a whole review of that site as a whole, and now I wanted to do something a little bit more specific, and I actually want to do a tutorial on the game of dice as it pertains to cryptocurrency casinos, because it is probably the single most important game in cryptocurrency casinos, at the very least the most prominent. A close second would be roulette, or on certain in certain casinos maybe roulette's the dominant one and dice is second. But anyway, it's one of the top two in basically every cryptocurrency casinos. There are certain casinos, especially in the Tron dApp space, where dice is the only game that the Tron casino has. And they have plans to add other games later, but as of right this moment, the only one they would have is dice. And so I wanted to go ahead and give a tutorial on that for those of you who don't know what dice is, who don't know the reasons why you might want to use one of those. If you haven't seen my video series on traditional gambling strategies and how they can be applied to cryptocurrency, you can go ahead and watch that, and that will help a little bit. So for those of you who don't know, dice, as far as cryptocurrency casinos go, dice is the game that I specialize in. It's the game that I strategize for, that I use for investing in certain things. Again, that's not my only type of investment that I do, but it is one of the more, in some ways of thinking of it, the more risky investment, one of the more risky investments that I do. And I use dice in order to do that. And so I'll go ahead and give you a tutorial of dice and things like that. There are many different places to use this. Again, it's probably the most common game in cryptocurrency casinos. If not dice, then it would be roulette, and dice would be second. And so I want to go ahead and give a tutorial of dice and explain the basic rules and some things to look out for when you're playing dice. Okay, now this is not a strategy video. I do a lot of strategies. I've dropped hints, I research stuff, and I am in the process of researching several strategies to try and find ones, hopefully, that work, that are winning strategies, because a lot of strategies are have negative expected values. Okay, there's strategies that are, quote, losing strategies. That means over the long run you are going to lose a certain amount of money. You might not walk away with zero as long as you're smart, but you're going to walk away with less than you came in with if you play it in the long run. If you play it for very short term, you can temporarily get some good variance in your favor, and if you stop right then and there, you're going to be up with that strategy. But if you keep playing it over and over again, eventually the odds of winning are going to come back around to what they are for that strategy. And if it's a losing strategy, that means you're going to end up losing what you ended up winning over time. That means you have to play it for a very small amount of time and then just stop. And that's it. But again, that's hard for people to do sometimes. So I'm researching dice strategies specifically. Who knows, they might have some other applications for other games. I'm not into that as of right now. I'm kind of focused on dice. That's my specialty at the moment. So like always, I'm using the CryptoTab browser. It's a Google Chrome clone for those who don't know. It's a free browser, completely free. I'm going to put a link for it in the description box below. It mines cryptocurrency for you, and it pays you in Bitcoin for letting you use your CPU in order to mine that cryptocurrency. Okay, so it pays you for free as long as you install it, download it, open it up, go to the CryptoTab bookmark or the CryptoTab extension and make sure the mining function is turned on. That's all you do, okay? That's all the work you do, and it pays you in Bitcoin as long as it's on. So I think it's pretty awesome. That's the browser that I'm using today. So let's go ahead and get into the game of dice. So right now I am using Lucky Games. I just mentioned Lucky Games. I'll put a link for it in the description box below the video. It is an affiliate link, and so if you sign up under it and you do any sort of bets, I do get a bonus from that at no cost to you. So I would appreciate it if you use my link. This is not financial investment, financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I myself say that this is risky in situations and different things like that, especially depending on how you're playing, okay? This can get extremely risky, so don't, don't take my advice, okay? I'm not an advisor. So this is what the typical dice setup is going to look like. Now this is a very specific type of dice, okay? With this, you can see what number you stopped on. You can see what number you wanted it to choose, and you can change this. So right now it's on 50, which means if I bet over 50, so it's right now it's saying I want to bet over 50. The number that it's starting on is 0. This is the number that it's going to end up landing on. This is my total balance. This is how much I'm betting right now. This is how much I'm going to win if I bet. This is what percentage I'm getting back, and this is what chance of winning I have, okay? Now on this site, there are many different types of cryptocurrency that are supported, okay? So you can see all of these, whole bunch. Right now I'm using the Lucky token, which is the native token of this site. It's not a real cryptocurrency, it's just a token that they have on the site. It doesn't really have a real value, although if you have enough of them, you can exchange it for Bitcoin, and Bitcoin does have a real value, but you can't really take them off the site or anything like that. And so right now I'm doing that because, again, these are basically free. And so it's a good sandbox to try things or different things like that. But this is the basic dice setup. Now, not all rules for dice are the same, okay? Different casinos will have different rules as to what you can do, what you can't do, and they control how much they pay you and what odds they give you and certain different things like that. They control how big the house edge is. Here, the house edge is only 1%, and that 1% is this number. So you can choose anywhere from 0 to 99. Right now this is on 0, okay? So that's 100 numbers, 0 to 99. Only one number is off limits, and that's the number that you say it's going to go over or under. Right now the off limits number is 50. If it lands on 50, doesn't matter if I choose roll under or roll over, I automatically lose. That's the house edge. Because it's one number out of 100 that I automatically lose on regardless of what I choose, that's a 1% house edge. If I lose for any other reason, it's because it was the side that I didn't choose. If I said rolled under and it lands over, then that's the 50%. So I've got a 50-50 chance except for that 1% house edge. So I've got a 50-50 chance except if it lands on 50, I automatically lose right now. I could change it to 90, then that 1% house edge is, it's represented here in the 90. Anything 0 to 89 and anything 91 to 99 is fair game, again depending on the odds whether I choose roll over or roll under, but the 90 itself is an automatic loss. Okay, that's that 1% house edge. This is what number it starts on. Now for this site, you see where it goes. So if I were going to say 98, that's the highest one. So basically the lowest chance of winning, and I just want to do 1 Satoshi as a bet. I've got a 1% chance of winning. It's going to pay me 99 times if I so win. However, on average, this means I'm going to lose 98 times for every one time I win. Okay, so let me go ahead and just bet this. So you click the rollover button to bet. So you put in a bet, tells you how much you're going to win. So I'm going to, if you look at it from this perspective, it means I'm going to bet 1. If I win, I keep the 1 that I bet, plus it's going to give me 98 additional ones. When you look at the multiplier, it says something different. It means consider the 1 as lost, and instead you get 99. So you still end up with 99. 1 plus 98 is 99, or you get rid of the 1, so you get rid of this 1, and you get 99 back. Okay, so that's how you have to think of it, and the chance is 1%. Okay, so 1% chance of winning, but I get 99 times what I put in. So let's go ahead and roll 1. So this is important, you know where it's starting. It's starting at 0. If I click roll 1, it's going to roll the number. And for this type and for a lot of types of dice, it starts at the low number and then starts working its way numerically higher all the way up until the top number, which in this case is 99. And then it wraps back around to 0 and keeps going up from there. Okay, so you know where it starts, and every time it stops on a number, that's where it starts for the new number. Okay, that's really important for strategy. Okay, you know where it starts, you know the direction that it moves. Over time, you can kind of figure out how long or how far it goes on average, how many numbers. So maybe oh, okay, I see that it's always going, 30 numbers and then it stops, or on average, or maybe it goes 100 numbers, then it stops. Okay, you know where it starts, you know what direction it's going, you know how it behaves, and you know how long it goes on average. Those are all really important when you're determining how you personally are going to choose to play. These are all things that you have control over, or things at the very least that you can be paying attention to and then use them to your advantage. Okay, you don't actually have control over a lot of these. Okay, so I chose what odds I want, 1% chance of winning. I know what number I'm going to start with. I'm telling it to roll over. Notice right now, I'm saying it has to be 99. 98, I lose because of the house edge. 0 to 97, I lose because of the odds that I chose. 99, I win. Okay, so it's 1% chance of winning. If I choose roll under, that means I wanted to get it under 99. So again, 98, I still lose because of the house edge. 99, I lose. However, 1 to 97, I win. That means I have a 0 to 97, I win, which means there are 98 numbers where I win, so 98% chance of winning, but it's only going to pay me 1.01% of my bet, and since I'm only betting 1 Satoshi, that's going to be a 0, okay? So you choose over or under, and you can choose these at will, and you can go back and forth or choose any sort of pattern you want, which is good, okay? They give you that freedom, and then you can choose specific numbers to bet. Right now I'm betting 1 Satoshi. Let's go ahead and bet this, okay? Okay, so I lost. That was an abnormally short roll, by the way, guys. So it only moved 7 numbers. Normally it goes further than that, okay? So I've already been paying attention. I know about how often or about how long it goes. I know what's considered, oh, okay, that was a little bit short, that was a little bit long, or okay, that was abnormally short. Normally it doesn't go that short. Different things like that, okay? And so, remember, I only had a 1% chance of winning, so it's most likely going to be a 0 for this one, even though you can't predict any one event. They're all independent, you know? But yeah, so I ended up losing, but now it's not going to start at 0 again. It starts at 7, and it goes up towards 99 and wraps back around to 0 once it hits 99. So let me do rollover again. Again, 1% chance of winning. Watch, it starts at 7, goes up numerically, okay? Okay, and it moved up to 28. Okay, that one was short too, not crazy, but you know, a little bit short. Okay, 2 short ones in a row. Now it's 28, so it starts at 28. I can bet again. It's going to go up from 28 towards 99. Once it hits 99, it's going to wrap back around towards 100. Okay, 92. That was a nice long one, okay? A little bit long, nothing crazy. 92, I'm going to do one more. Again, I'm not expecting to win. I just want to show you how this works, okay? Because you can see it's been going up numerically to 99, and then it goes back to 0 and starts going up again. So let's do it again. Okay, so it went up to 99. You can see at 99, very briefly, there's a flash of green. That was 99. If it had stopped there, then I would have won, but it didn't. It kept going all the way back around to 82. So that's an abnormally long roll. That moved like 80 or 90 numbers. That was really long, okay? So we had one that was really, really short, one that was really, really long. You get some of those that are really long or really short, but a lot of them just fall right in the middle, which is why I say it's really important that you know where it's starting. So I know that it's starting at 82. If I know that it's starting at 82 and I know that it always goes, 80 numbers, I can guess where it's going to land. Does that make sense? Now, obviously, 80 numbers is big. Again, this is not a strategic video. Don't follow my advice, etc., etc. But again, just pay attention to this stuff, okay? So now it would start on 82 and it would go up to 99 and then wrap back around to 0 and go up from there. So that's how the number works, okay? And this is always called your lucky number, although in this case I've lost all 4 times. Again, I only have a 1% chance of winning. On average, I'm going to lose 98, I'm going to lose 98 times, and then I'm going to win 1 time out of 99 times on average. But again, that's average. There's variance in the short term. So if I only do 42 bets, I could lose all 42. If I do only 200 bets, I could lose all 200. Okay, I'd have to do thousands and thousands of bets before it starts to even out to 1%. Okay. So for this one, I don't need to bet any more often anymore. For this one, I'm just showing you a basic tutorial on how it works. Okay, so what if I wanted to change it and I wanted to roll under 98? Okay, so now I have a 98% chance of winning, and I'm going to bet 100. Okay. Oh, that's 10. Sorry, I always get the numbers confused here. Yep. Okay, so 0.000001 lucky token. So 100 Satoshi of lucky token. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and say roll under Oh, yeah. And so, again, that only moved one number, okay? That is crazy short, another abnormally short one. But because it was under 98, I ended up winning, okay? But I only won one Satoshi of Lucky Token. Okay, let's do it again. Okay, happened to win again. I did 4 for the other one. Let's do it again, okay? Okay, won again. Okay, won again. Perfect. So, I ended up winning. But again, for this one, if I lose 100 Satoshi, okay? So I lose 100 Satoshi. I only get 1 Satoshi. That means I'd have to get 98 in a row in order to, what's it called? Or I would have to get 100 in a row in order to double what I'm betting right now. But I lose every 98 times. On average. Again, in the short term I can beat this, but on average I'm going to lose every 98 times. So I'm going to end up losing before I double this, which is really important. Whereas with the other one, I go 98 times and I lose. I win on the 99th one and they pay me back 98. So I lose 98 on average, so that's minus 98. But on the 99th one I win and get paid 98. And so it kind of cancels out or even gives you one, depending on how you think about it. And so that's a big difference between this strategy that causes you to need to win 100 before you double it, whereas you're going to lose 1 every 98, or sorry, 2 out of every 100. So you're going to lose on average before you get to the point where you actually doubled something. So again, that's something to think about. This is not a strategy video. I'm not giving out strategies for this one. Look at the other videos I have on traditional strategies. Maybe when I'm done researching, I'll consider showing people, or maybe I'll just be secretive about it. I don't know. But I'm just going to give you guys a little hint. The win chance and the multiplier and what these numbers mean, how much you have to bet compared to how much you would win, what risk you're taking compared to what you're paid for that risk. On average, the more risk you're taking, this is the general pattern that it follows. The more risk you take, the more you're paid off, okay, if you win. Now, just because the more risk you're paid, or the more risk you take, the more you paid off, doesn't mean every single combination is the same. There are small differences in the numbers. Certain numbers are more lucrative than others. And I'm not just talking about, oh, if I do over 99, I get paid 99x. Anybody can see that, okay? There are small differences in the numbers, like what I'm talking about, okay? Like for this one, I'm going to lose on average before I double this, okay? For this one, over 99, that's going to cancel it out, or come pretty close to canceling it out. Whereas with this one, I'm going to lose before I have a chance to cancel it out, okay? And I'm going to start going backwards, whereas for this one, it's going to hover right around the same amount, but it's going to take a very long time because I'm losing most of the time. Whereas for this one, I'm winning most of the time, but I'm losing decisive victories, okay? I'm losing in really important cases, okay? And so not all numbers are created equal, okay? Having a 97 versus a 98 might be different. They're only 1% chance different. Look, so this is a 2% chance of winning. 98 is a 1% chance of winning. However, the 97, but the, oh yeah, so there's massive differences in like the amounts and different things like that. And so, what's it called? Just, look at your numbers. If you're doing, over 50, look at all the numbers around 50. So like, okay, how much risk am I taking based on the amount of reward that I'm getting for over versus under, different things like that. When is it better to choose roll over? When is it better to choose roll under? When is it better to do this like this? This is a 49% chance of winning, and this is a 50% chance of winning. It's only a 1% difference. But look at the difference in how much you're paid. There is a massive difference. This is really important. The 50-50 chance is not paid out 2 times. That's really important, guys. The 49% chance of winning, almost 50-50, is paid out 2.02 times. That's really important. Okay, I'm not going to go into why because this isn't a strategy video, but these are things that you need to be aware of. You're saying, oh, you know, it's 50, it's 50-50. Well, not in this case, it's 49%, okay? And it's very strategic if you're doing a strategy. Oh, should I do over 50 or under 50? It's the same, right? No, it's not, okay? You need to be aware of this. Sometimes it's not the same. Sometimes if you're doing a strategy that the biggest difference, like when I was developing strategies, if there's something like this where you'll get paid more for a 1% difference, choose roll over, you know, versus roll under, okay? If I win 10 times in a row with roll under, it's a big difference in the amount that I make versus 10 times in a row with roll over and a 49% chance, okay? So that's important. And of course this changes, like we were doing before with 98. Okay, roll over, 1%, roll under, 98%, and of course there's a massive difference in how much is paid out when you win, okay? So you need to be aware of that when you're developing strategies, and that little point that I made is mostly related to ones that are in the middle, so close to 50 basically. But yeah, so those are the basics of a game of dice. You choose the odds that you want, you tell it whether to roll under or over that amount, and that will dictate what odds you're playing at, and the odds will dictate how much they're paying you. Now be aware, different dice sites pay back different amounts depending on what your risks are. Not all dice sites are created equal. You need to kind of shop around to the one that's going to suit your needs the best, okay? At some point I might do a video in what I'm looking for, especially with the strategies that I'm doing. A lot of them are really finicky, okay? If you watched my Road to 100 Tron series, you know that one of the strategies that I use is really, really specific, and it needs very specific conditions to be viable, okay? Any upset in those conditions and it's not viable anymore. And so just be careful of the dice site that you're using to make sure that it's, you know, fitting your needs. Now, this is about all I wanted to do. I didn't want to go into any strategy. I just wanted to teach you guys how to play, okay? I'm going to go to Free Bitcoin. So this is freebitco.in. I'll put a link for it in the description. They have a game called Multiply, but if you look, it's dice. It's a high-low dice game, okay? You tell it, let's see, you tell it how much you want to bet, okay? It tells you how much you're going to win. It tells you what the chance of winning. It tells you what the house edge is. Notice it's bigger. There's about 500 where you'll lose. Okay, but then it's going 10,000 numbers instead of that amount. But here, let's do this. Let's do this. Okay, so at 47%, let's do 49%. Let's just compare apples to apples. Okay, at 49% chance of winning, or okay, so 48.97% chance of winning, it's paying me 1.94. At 49% chance of winning, this is paying me 2.02. That's a massive difference, guys. That's not a little amount. That's really important in how profitable a strategy is. Okay, that's massive. And so I personally would not use Free Bitcoin for the multiply feature. It's not worth it. That edge is I don't like that edge. They don't pay out very much. Basically, it's too much risk for too little reward. It's not worth it on this site. So I personally do not use this. I've used it before. I was young and stupid, and I busted once. And so, but again, that's not the reason I'm not using it. I'm not using it because it's strategically bad. Even if I were in a situation, which with 74,981 Satoshi of Bitcoin, okay, that's not enough to play safely on this site. Okay, it's not enough. I don't have the amount that I need to play safely. If I were playing here, it would still be too risky because that's too little. Okay, I need more in order to play. So, one, strategically, even if it was a good dice game, I wouldn't play here. But in this case, because of this. But even if I did have enough, I wouldn't play here just because it's not a good dice game, not as good as the odds and everything like that that Lucky Games is providing. Let's look at free Litecoin. Okay. So again, this is basically dice. They don't call it dice, they call it multiply, but it's dice. Okay, you can choose how much you want to bet. They give you options to divide it by 2 and multiply it by 2 just for quick reference, but you can change it to whatever you want. They tell you what the win chance is. Now let's look at the difference between the house edge between free Litecoin and free Bitcoin. Okay, they're doing 100,000 numbers. Okay, 100,000 numbers. 50,000 is the only number you lose on. That is a really small house edge. a lot less than 1%, okay? I'm not going to do the math, but in 100,000 numbers, you win except for 99,000. So 99,999 numbers are the fair odds of the game, and the house edge only represents one number out of those 100,000 numbers. Whereas for, lucky games, it's 100 numbers, and one of the numbers represents the house edge, so it's a 1% edge, okay? So this is a teeny tiny house edge, so this is about as fair as you're going to get, okay? Now again, even with only about 400,000 Litoshi, that's still not quite enough. Well, if I wanted to play with like 4 Litoshi as my base bet, then it would be okay for me to play with this amount. But I want to do more than that, so I don't have enough to play with the amount that I want to play with. I might test out some more strategies on here. Notice though, for this one, you see where it lands. You can't really see how it moves. And so it's a little different. You can kind of see the only thing is this one moves so fast that you can't even tell what direction it's moving and things like that. So it's a little different, but this one is fair, actually, meaning the odds are fair. And these two, all 3 of these are actually provably fair, by the way. So you're not getting cheated, which is good. And again, this one gives you the option to bet below whatever number you choose and above whatever number you choose, okay? And for this one, what you do is you choose the odds, and that tells you what over and under you're going to do. So if I choose, I want to do 95%. I want to mine, even though there's nothing to mine on this site. It says if you get a number higher than 5,000, or when you bet high or bet low and get a number lower than 95,000. Okay. Yep. Okay. So that's dice on here. So again, if I had the amount, I might play dice on here. Okay, like if I had to choose play dice here or play dice here, I'm playing dice here. At least this is fair, and they're giving me decent returns. Whereas, what's it called? And they're basically giving me the fair odds of return, okay? Whereas for this one, they're paying me less than they ought to for the risk that I'm taking. The house edge is bigger, and I don't know. This one is just, no. Like, I like this site. I really, really like it. I like their faucet. Like the free Bitcoin faucet, which is awesome, and I like their earn feature, where I'm getting what's it called? Lots and lots and lots of free Satoshi, just from keeping it in there. So I like this site. Don't get me wrong. I'm not dogging this site. I'm just saying that their dice game is crap. Okay, it's don't do this one. Okay, it's among dice games. This is not a good dice game. Okay. So for now, take my word on it, but as you start to research, as you start to compare dice games, you will start to know what I'm talking about, and you'll start to see, oh yeah, there were better odds, or there were better payouts, or the edge is bigger, or different things like that compared to other dice sites. Okay, now there are so many more dice sites I could show you. I didn't want to bore you with all those details, but if you guys do want to see like some of the sites that I'm playing on, and like I said last time, Lucky Games basically is one of the best that I've seen, okay? Oh, that's another huge thing that I forgot to mention. I'm so sorry, I completely forgot this. Pay attention to the minimum bet. What is the smallest amount that you are allowed to bet? That is humongous. Humongous, humongous, humongous. That is really important, guys, okay? So many strategies become so much better when you can bet small amounts. That's all I'm going to go with that, okay? I'm not doing a strategy video, I'm just saying that, okay? What's called the minimum bet here is, let's see, 1 2 3 4 5 6. Let's do 1 Satoshi. Yep, and it allows me to do it. Okay, so 1 Satoshi. Let's just say, let's see, bet high. Okay, I ended up winning. The only thing is, I only was betting 1 Satoshi, and with 95, I don't get anything for winning that. I'd have to bet a larger amount to end up seeing myself having won something like that. Okay. And so yeah, so I don't want to do a strategy video on dice because I've already done some of those, and dice is my specialty. Okay, that's all I'm going to go into with that. You guys know I'm researching. You guys know that I'm not a gambler, even though I'm using gambling strategies. I see this as high-risk investing. I approach it as an investment. I've talked to different types of gamblers and different things like that, and I come at it with a very different opinion about certain things. My strategies are usually different. Sometimes we have things in common, but yeah. So dice is my specialty. I don't want to say, I'm not going to claim to be an expert in dice or anything like that. I don't want to brag or anything like that. But I do know a lot about the game, just having been paying attention and listening to people who know more than I do about this topic and different things like that. So this is the game of dice. I'd like to introduce it to you. There are all sorts of different strategies that you can use. Please do research. If you're using just a regular gambling strategy, most gambling strategies, quote, don't work. What they mean is in the long term, they have a negative expected value. Over the long term, you are going to lose a certain amount of your money. So please, if you're going to be using these sites, be careful. Don't bet more than you can afford to lose. Don't what's it called? Just be very careful. If you're going to use a losing strategy, please only use it for the short term. Capitalize on short term variance if it goes in your favor, and then just stop the strategy, okay? Because it's the only way you win, is if you play a little bit, happen to outrun the odds of the strategy for a very short time, and then just stop it and never play it again, okay? That's the only way you win. If you keep playing, it's going to approach what it's supposed to be. So if you're going to lose 95%, or if you're going to lose 5% of your money, and you play a short amount of time and you ended up winning 10%, that's fine. Stop right there. Because the longer you play, the longer it's going to look like you lost 5% of your money instead of gaining 10%, okay? So you can outrun it in the short term for a lot of strategies. A lot of them don't work for the long term. So please know your strategy, know the ins and outs of it. Again, I feel like a broken record. This isn't a strategy video. I'm not going into that right now. Just know the strategy, please. If you guys want to know more about strategies, please put a link in the description below. Again, I'm still researching for a couple of strategies that I am just very, very excited about. And so I'm not going to go into those. There are certain times where I just need to be quiet about certain things. Again, there's certain things where I just need to be quiet about it. Okay, let's leave it at that. But I am researching certain things. I do know a lot about like the theory behind stuff. I know what different types of moves mean. I know when most strategies, I know whether or not they're going to work before I even do them. I know why most strategies fail. There's different things like that. So you have to. Here's one little tip I will give you, and that is please, please, please be smart about the amount that you're betting. Okay. Right now, I have 400,000 Litoshi about on this site. If I have 400,000 Litoshi, and I decide to do a 50-50 roll, and I decide to bet, actually, no, let's do it like this, and I decide to bet 95%. On average, that means I'm going to lose 5% of my money, okay? It's the equivalent of using a 95% paying back slot machine, okay? Now, because of the amount that it pays out, it kind of starts to eat up a little bit of that 95%. But if I'm playing at 95% and I decide to bet my entire bankroll, and I lose after 3 times, then my entire bankroll is gone, okay? Which means I lost 100% instead of 5%. The reason I, quote, busted, which means lose everything, the reason I busted is because I bet too big. You have to bet small enough that you have a chance of this evening out to only losing 5%, okay? If you're betting a huge amount, even though the strategy is theoretically only going to take 5% from you, it might take 100% from you, okay? So please, please, please be careful about the amount that you're betting. Be smart about that. So many times people end up busting, even with strategies. Again, this is not a good strategy. If I'm just doing this, it's not a good strategy. It's going to lose in the long run. Again, sometimes in cryptocurrency, we do this because we're mining tokens on Tron.app casinos, and then the tokens are what we're really after, okay? We don't care that we're going to lose money on this strategy, okay? We just want to get the tokens for as cheaply as possible. Now, But yeah, so a lot of strategies, if you bet too big, you end up losing everything instead of whatever the strategy normally would have taken from you. So please be careful about that. Again, this isn't a strategy video. If you want to see strategy videos, please, please, please comment. I do love it when you comment, and I do like to see what you guys are interested in, okay? I do a lot of this as high-risk investment, and so I am really interested in this. This is, again, one of the things that I do with the money. I'm saving up all of this. At some point, I'm going to be putting it in various investments. One of the investments I might put it in is a site, maybe like Lucky Games, where I'm researching several different strategies right now. Or maybe I'll put it on a different casino where I'm implementing strategies and investing it that way. And so yeah, and so that's another thing that I do. It's not just faucets and different things like that. Is I do investing using different types of cryptocurrency casinos. So if you guys want to see more of that content, please leave a like, please comment, please subscribe, and thank you guys so much, and have a wonderful day. Bye.